Hello there, Brick Fanatics. The BrickLink Designer Program Series 8 is now up for crowd vote, and that means that you can have your say as to which fan designs get turned into official LEGO sets. Just in case it's your first time, and it is always someone's first time, hello, welcome. The BrickLink Designer Program allows for fans to submit their own designs for consideration to be turned into official LEGO sets, much like the LEGO Ideas program. The difference is that the BrickLink Designer Program involves crowdfunding and involves a very limited run of these sets. So instead of purchasing these LEGO sets in a shop or at lego.com using our affiliate links, of course you pre-order them from the BrickLink Designer Program website, and the LEGO Group will manufacture exactly the number needed to fulfill those pre-orders, up to a grand total of 30,000 units maximum for any one of these sets. In order to decide which 5 of these designs for any series go through to the crowdfunding stage, we have the crowd vote, where you can go through, look at every single one of these fan submissions, and then give it a little vote, whether you love it, you like it, or you're a little bit meh on it. Now for Series 7 of the BrickLink Designer Program, I cherry-picked a few key designs that I wanted to talk about, but this time around I really want to celebrate absolutely everything, and so I feel like every single design deserves its moment on screen and deserves for us to just take a second and appreciate it, whether or not it's the right LEGO design for us. I'm still going to break these down into categories, and I'm going to mention one design from each of these categories that I think is particularly worth celebrating. Not necessarily my absolute top pick of the lot, but one that I feel like does something inventive or creative or different that really shows the breadth and the diversity of ideas and styles within the BrickLink Designer Program. Before we get into this list, there is one of these designs that I wanted to highlight in particular because it's the one that I made. Here it is, Fun Times at the Vending Machines. I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who gave feedback on the initial version 1 of this design that was submitted for Series 7 of the BrickLink Designer Program. A lot of the comments that you made really helped me to flesh this out and work around things and improve it, and I'm really grateful for your suggestions and for your feedback. Please do leave feedback on this latest version of the design as well, because I would genuinely like to know what you think. So given that this is going to be a fairly lengthy, chunky video and it's going to be a lot of reading for me, let's get stuck in with the first category of many, the medieval/castle category, because of course we had to start here. Medieval/castle. This time around there are a whopping 385 designs that have made it to the crowd vote stage, and approximately a quarter of them are castle/medieval themed, because of course they are, because LEGO fans really love castles, and the BrickLink Designer Program is like our major way of getting really nice castles from LEGO at the moment. This is by far the largest category of any for Series 8, and when I say category, by the way, I mean that in the BrickLink Designer Program website, these have been vaguely, loosely categorized into a few different chunks, and I don't think that we're really supposed to put a lot of attention into that and really focus on which specific set is in which specific category. We're just rolling with the ones that are listed on the website here, but as we go through, you'll be able to tell that we're playing fast and loose with any kind of rules here. It's just some way of kind of separating these out. Anyway, we've got 93 of these castle/medieval designs to go through. Let's get rolling. I'm presenting these in alphabetical order because it's easier for me in the edit. A daring rescue, abandoned watchtower, ambush at Cyclops statues, ambush on the convoy, ancient troll fortress, artifact merchant, Black Monarch's crossing, bog witch's hut, brick monarch's castle, castle on the rock, chapel and crypt, chef's wagon, classic castle, coastal keep, cozy snowy cottage, crystal keep, dark spire citadel, deep forest headquarters, dice roller crooked tower. Die Belagerung der Namenlosen. Die Mühle. This is an important moment to point out that not all of these names are in English, and I apologise as I butcher some various different languages. Dragon Cave, Dragon Master's Fortress, Dragon's Knowledge, Dustmark Keep, Dwarves Fortress, Evil Witch's Keep, Fallen Lakeside Fortress, Festival Stage, Forest Cottage by the River, Fortified City with Inn and Bank, Gilded Island Keep, Glassmaker's Workshop, Gothic City Square, Gothic Lair, Grand Medieval Inn. Heroic Knight's Crypt, House of Trubadino, Iron Watch Keep, King Hill Castle, King's Road Ambush, Lion Knight's Galley, Lion's Watchtower, Machine Workshop, Medieval Bakery, Medieval Cathedral, Medieval Cavalry Training and Stables, Medieval Counting House, Medieval Fishing Village, Medieval Jousting Tournament, Medieval Market, Medieval Street Artists Come to Town, Medieval Tavern 2025, Medieval Tournament, Medieval Tower Ruins, Medieval Town Defence, Medieval Town Hall, Medieval Vineyard, Mountain Kingdom, Mountainside Castle, Mounted Castle, Musicians and Merchants, Rat House, Robber Camp at the Old Ruins, Rose Castle, Scarlet Bastion, Shepherd's Hut, Sleepy Dragon Inn, Soul Keeper's Sanctum, The Abandoned Castle, The Black Keep, The Dark Manor, The Eastern Alliance, The Herbalist, The Hooded Crow Medieval Inn, The Island Castle, The Magical Merchant Cart, The Palace at the End of the Alleyway, The Raven's Nest, the Red Rose Castle, the Silver Sword Company Training Grounds, the Song of the Dragon Dynasty, the Wizard's Crooked Tower, the Wizard's Lodge, Thunder Nest, Tournament Grounds, Tower House Smallholding, Trouble at the Black Hooves Stable, Viking Shipyard, Whitestone Wharf, Wolf Pirate's Revenge, Woodland Ambush. So as usual, there are a bunch of really cool, really neat medieval/castle designs here. I do think it's difficult to pick out any one of these that really sings, because all of them are just so wonderful and so inventive and so clever, and of course really tap into that nostalgic niche for fans of castles of a certain age. The LEGO Group is now finally giving us some new factions in LEGO sets that have only just barely been announced, and that's wonderful to have, but I really like some of the expressive work that's done here by a bunch of different fans, and I wanted to highlight one in particular that has invented a new faction for the purpose of making this BrickLink Designer Program design. Classic Castle is, in my mind, anything but. I think it's really neat. I think it's got some cool architectural ideas here. It's got a really bold colour scheme that I don't think we've seen in an official capacity from a LEGO set before. And it's got a big honking dinosaur in there, and that is not something that you normally see in the castle theme. It's very fun to have here. I really like the ingenuity that has gone into this one, and for that reason I wanted to highlight it in particular. If you have a different favourite from all of these, absolutely let us know down in the comments. It'll be brilliant to hear your thoughts. Moving on, the next category, vehicle/boat/aeroplane. And here you'll be able to see that these things have been lumped together almost arbitrarily in places. It really doesn't matter. We're not paying attention to the categories. We're just breaking the list up somehow. 3+1 axis manipulable jet plane with shifting wings. Aviation Days Zeppelin. Bob's Boat Warehouse. Canal Houseboat. Dockside Duo. Fire Engine HLF-20. Fish and Chips Truck. Flame Tourer. Forest Fire. Horse-drawn tram. Hot air balloon. Jungle Airport. Lost Treasure Hunt. Parcel Locker 001. Race bike on an indoor trainer. Rock band on tour. Retro bus shelter. Semi-truck tractor and trailer with convertible containers. Superhighway and road zipper. Underwater archaeology. Family dive. V6 hybrid engine. Winter vintage taxi. There are a bunch of cool different vehicles here. The one that really stands out to me the most is this hot air balloon. For one thing, I love the clouds here. I think they're very inventive, but just in general, I love the colourful design of the hot air balloon. I love how swish and sleek this whole thing is. It's just very well put together. Train! For those who know their LEGO fandom, it's no real surprise that there are quite a few different train projects that have been submitted for Series 8, and I think all of them are wonderful in their own right. I had a really difficult time narrowing down which one of these I was going to highlight. Here comes the list. 1920s tinplate toy train with station. Etherglide Express. American Steam Locomotive 464. Blue Train. Brick Railroad Diesel Electric Locomotive A Unit and B Unit. Brick Railroad Diesel Electric Locomotive A Unit. Brick Railroad Scenic Train. Brickington Junction Signal Box. Brick Park Station and Tram. Budapest Tram 2. Cherryliner Express Train. Country Station. Epic Road with Train. Freight Train. Locomotive Shed. Modern City Tram. Mountain Pass Tunnel. Mountain Train. Narrow Gauge Slate Incline. Railway Retreat. Railway Station. Sand Warehouse with Barge and Narrow Gauge Train. Santa's Train Workshop. Signal Box. Studschester. Small Swiss Shunting Locomotive. Sunrise Limited. The Crimson Lord, a narrow gauge engine. Transcontinental Express. Trolley Crossing. Victorian Railway Museum. Winter Holiday Express. Wood Brick Freight Depot. Yellow Tram Lookout. Of all of these, and again, difficult choice, I do quite like Wood Brick Freight Depot. I just think that there's a really inventive use of a building here attached to the train line itself. I think that the building is very nicely put together and just all around a very nice, very sweet little design. Space/sci-fi/fantasy. While there are some brilliant designs for spaceships here, I'm not going to be highlighting a space one. I'm not necessarily even going to be highlighting a sci-fi one, but I'll get to it in a second. Here's the list. 4 scenes. Anchored Isle. Antara's 5 Station. Ants. Astro Viper. Blacktron Ground Operations Squad. Space Mission Team. Blacktron Guardian. Butterfly Tiger. Cake House. Capsule Tower Hotel. Classic Lunar Rover. Crystallized Golem Den. Dragon Attack. Dragon Dojo. Dual Drillazoid. Dwarf Mountain Mine, Dwarven Artisans Guild, Escape from the Temple, Explorers, Exoplanet On-Site Researching Robotic Systems, Explorers of the Sky, Frozen Water Tower, Galactic City, Galactic Sky Pirates, Galactic Spacefaring Mariner, Galactic Dropship, Garden Boot House, Giant Skeleton with Modern City, Granite Grinder U225, Grasshopper Express, Horizon Starfighter Mark II, Intergalactic Justice Enforcer, Kong Skull Mountain Island, Public Domain 1932 version Classic, Lunar Cargo Train, Mars Explorers, Merlin's Meridian, Mushroom Haven, Mystic Conclave, Orc Settlement, Orcs Town Hall, Orcs vs Barbarians Village, Orcs Windmill, Planetary Charger, Portal Tower, Space Infiltration Base, Space Racer, Space Research Outpost, Stealth Infiltrator, Steam-Powered Dragon, Steampunk Carriage, Steampunk Street, Summer Fae Festivities, Sword in the Stone, Tale of the West Gate, The Explorer, The Forest Village, The Hand of Orion, The Ritual Tree, Tree Trunk Home, Vampire Hunter, Water Dragon, Wayfarer's Village. So yeah, going through that list, you lump space and sci-fi and fantasy together, you get a bunch of different things. The one that I like the best, actually, of all of these is quite mundane, quite modern, quite real life by comparison. I like Capsule Tower Hotel, which according to the little blurb written by the designer is apparently meant to evoke 1970s Japanese architecture, so in no way sci-fi whatsoever, but there is definitely a cyberpunk feel to it. As a matter of fact, that's what drew me to it. It reminds me of some of the cyberpunk mocks that I saw while putting together the Ninjago City video that we did a while ago. If you haven't checked out that video, absolutely do. It was quite a fun one. There's a lot of nice history in there. I feel like this one would sit very nicely on a shelf alongside some Ninjago City sets. It's got that same kind of aesthetic, it's got that same vibe to it, and it's a pretty cool looking design. Moving on, art/object. Advent calendar of 24 Christmas ornaments. Glockenspiel, the functional vintage-style Glockenspiel. Castle 1992. Desktop dioramas. Fruits basket. Graphic designs of Georgia topographic map. Kids sandcastle. Nesting pianos. Open reel-to-reel tape deck. Physical geography of Arizona. Pinball machine. Skateboard adventure. Skull of a saber-toothed tiger. Space 1987. Synthwave sunset. Tennis match. The Gargoyle Dice Tower. The Phantom of the Past, The Scientist's Kit, The Silver Ball Arcade, Topographic Map of Colorado, Topographic Map of Tennessee, Vintage Space Shadow Box, Void Fury Sword, World in a Brick, World Physical Map. I love this category. I love how many of these designs are pushing the boat out a little bit further than the average BrickLink Designer Program design, which is saying something because there are quite a lot of inventive ones anyway. I had a really difficult time narrowing down my top pick here. It came down to the wire, but I picked Skateboard Adventure because I think it is so well designed. Like, is it a completely original idea? Not necessarily. It looks like it would fit very well on a shelf alongside, say, the Jazz Quartet set. It's got that same kind of character and human design to it. But I just really love the way that it's put together, the shapes here, the way that the Lego brick has been used here to create these dynamic characters who feel like they've got a real personality, feel like they've got some motion and some weight to their movement. It's just really inventive, really clever, really, really solid Lego design. Anyway, the next category is a bit of a short one. I could have lumped this in with space/sci-fi/fantasy because this is the sci-fi/fantasy category and it's got just the one set in it, but I kind of liked it just sitting there dangling by itself without any contemporaries. The Mad Scientist Laboratory. And I do absolutely feel like this one deserves highlighting. This is by Rich Herbert, who we've seen before in the BrickLink Designer Program. There's a reason why some of these names keep coming up. Some of these people are just very, very talented at designing Lego sets, and the Mad Scientist Laboratory is no exception to that. Lovely, big, imposing building, plenty of fun minifigures. If there's one thing that I feel like holds this design back, it's the fact that it has a Frankenstein's monster type character in here who doesn't feel particularly grotesque or certainly movie monster-esque in the same way that you would imagine of a Lego Frankenstein. I mean, it's kind of fitting. If I remember rightly, in the book Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Frankenstein's monster has yellow skin, so this works entirely fine. It's just that we're kind of used to something a little bit more monstrous from our Lego monsters. But it's a minor quibble in a set that otherwise looks absolutely brilliant and is doing very well working with the palette of pieces available for the BrickLink Designer Program. Anyway, the next category is building, and there are plenty of different buildings in here. Let's have a look at them. Avery's Hot Shots, Bed and Breakfast, Beekeeper's Cottage, Big Chicken, Chicken and Waffles, Blooming Bouquets, A Little Florists, Blue White Inn, Brick Wrestling League, Brick Fit Recreation Centre, Brickland Elementary, Bricksterdam, Brixton Street, Cabin Retreat, Cargo Crate Plaza, Christmas in the Snow, Christmas Market with Santa's Magical Grotto, City Life Gym and Grocery, Clock Tower, Coastal Escape, Coastal Village, Croissant Corner, Fire Station, Gatehouse, Ice Cream Grill, International Bank, Japan Street Restaurant, Kurichima Urinjiha, Lone Oak Rest Stop and Restroom for Park or Travel Stop, Milkshake Bar, Milwaukee Art Museum Quadracci Pavilion, Modern Art Museum, Modern House, Mountain House of the Forester, My Place, North Point Academy, Paramedic Unit Reboot, Polar Observatory, Restaurant with Balcony, Roadside Stop 66, Robotic Engineers Schaus, Room, Rustic Cabin, Smart Living Beneath the Apocalypse, Solar City, Stargazers at the Edge of the Ocean, A Small House on a Cliff, Surf Studs, The Central City Square, The Gothic Movie Theatre, The Grand Towers of Books and Brews, The Cellist's Residence, The Island, Our New Life, The Lake Pavilion, The Vampire's Crypt, Town on a Hill, a tribute to Creator 3-in-1 Mini Modulars, University of Science, Victorian House, Vintage Family House, White Library, Wintertime Bakery, Ye Olde Red Barn. Of all of these, I love the White Library. That's one of these, going through this list, where I had to stop and pause and look at the pictures of this one in particular and say, oh, hang on a second, what's going on there? Really wonderful, really detailed building. Absolutely brilliant that it's just full of books. I like that it's got a hinge to it and it opens up and it gives you a little bit more of a look inside. Just absolutely fabulous. Floral / nature / animal. Here's another one with a wonderful amount of diversity and different kinds of ideas. Four Seasons Box, A Pleasant Forest Walking Path, A Walk in the Park, All Around the Brick, Apple Orchard, Beach Activity Stand, Beach Lifeguard Tower, Burbs of New Zealand, City Fountain, Coco's Chicken Coop, Coffee and Pets, Countryside Greenhouse, Day at the Beach, Dragonfly Planter, Fun Times at the Vending Machines, Giant Tiger Prawn, Grand Winter Carousel, Lakeside Camping, Lifeguard Tower, Mesoic Display Pieces. Milkweed and the Monarchs, Mountain Fire Station, Mountain Landscape, Mountain Shelter, Out of This World Succulents, Palm Tree Beach Basketball and Skate Park, Quest to the Sunken Shrine, Seamount Giants, Seaside Salvage, Second Life of the Tree, Skate Park, Tangerine Grove, The Blossom Painter, The Creek Cabin, The Rabbit's Burrow, Topographic Map of North America, Whale Calf, Wildfire Lookout, Winter Tree Lot and Cookie Truck, Ye Olde Town Centre. Again, another category that was difficult to choose just one to highlight. There are some brilliant things in here. There were several that jumped out at me. I ended up picking the Giant Tiger Prawn. I think that's such an interesting idea for a Lego set, and I think it's executed very, very well. There's a lot of detail here. It looks really nice, and it's a big old prawn. Pirate. Here we are with a far more traditional Lego category. There are some brilliant piratey designs in here. Arr! Anchor Cove Imperial's Shipyard, Armada Bastion, Breezy Beth Sailing on the Little Scallywag, Broadside Brawl, Coconut Cape, Elders Rest Island, Imperial Guards Star Fortress, Madriguera Hideout, Meeting on Treasure Island, Pirate Haven, Pirate Treasury, Siege of the Skull Renegades, the Amber Wind, the Libertalia Fortress, the Red Knight, White Shark Imperial's Prison. I've decided to highlight Pirate Haven here. It's a very nice, very big, very detailed little pirate community set. It's not unlike Thieves of Tortuga, which is going up for crowdfunding as part of BrickLink Designer Program Series 5 in June. Maybe that similarity will work against Pirate Haven, maybe it'll work in its favour, because people will be like, oh, I like Thieves of Tortuga and I like Pirate Haven, I can have an even bigger pirate little city here. History / period. That is a very broad category, and there are a bunch of different historical / period sets in here. You've got some archaeology, you've got some kind of adventurers type things with ancient tombs and ruins, and then of course you've got a lot of Wild West stuff. And all of these in their own way are a manifestation of Lego fan nostalgia for a certain period of time when we got these kinds of Lego sets more frequently. Japanese Hot Spring, Akia Village, Amphitheatre of Embercrest, Ancient Bazaar, Ancient Roman Villa, Ancient Ruins Park, Ancient Villa, Blacksmith Wild West, Californian Villa, Doctor's Office Wild West, Escape to the Mongolian Steppes, Fort Endurance, Gallias, Judean Wilderness Estate, Jungle Adventure, Lone Brick Detective Agency, Ocean Watchtower and Korean Turtle Ship, Post Office and Stagecoach, Radiant Ruby Rush, Railway Museum, Red Rock Ranch, Rice Fields, Samurai Castle Gate, Stagecoach Express, Tales from the Hidden Garden, the Dig Site, the Forgotten Tomb of Ra, the Great Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the Ishtar Gate, the Manor House, the Old West Lawstone, a Western Town Heist, the Wild West, Western Town Woodland Pagoda. Of all of these, the one that really caught my eye and made me go, oh, hang on, I need to see that one right now, was the Dig Site. I love this giant ancient sculpture that's being slowly hacked out of the ground. It's just a really cool, really slightly creepy, but very, very well put together design. And that is it. That is every single design that has got through to the crowd vote stage of BrickLink Designer Program Series 8. There is a link down below if you want to go to the website and you want to go through and vote for all of your favourites. Absolutely give feedback on my one as mentioned, because I would love to know your thoughts on it, and make sure that you do leave a comment down below letting us know your favourite of all of these designs. Also do all of the rest of the YouTube things. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe and the notification bell. You know the drill by now. Now, if you are going to be purchasing anything from lego.com in the near future, as mentioned earlier on, you can use the affiliate link which is down in the description, or the QR code that is currently on screen, which take you straight to the Lego website. We get a percentage of the sale when you purchase through those links, but doesn't cost you a penny extra. Just helps to keep the lights on at Brick Fanatics. Speaking of which, you can go to brickfanatics.com for coverage of all things Lego, and sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything Lego related ever again. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.